Uh, Even if I am retired, is there much to do every day? And today is it Friday, and don't ask me what date it is, but it's before my retirement money is coming in the 18 every month. So it's about maybe 10, September 10, 2023. Don't don't take it what I tell you. I only guess. Uh, so if you heard the noise, I'm sorry. I apologize for that because I this internet. I laid down the plat surf plate. Is it what it's called? A tablet, the surf tablet. Because I'm going to do my morning things when I recording, because just now when I start, it's very seldom the spirit is coming and talking to me. So for some minutes I can do things that disturb a little the spirit. That was soda. I'm going to the store today, so I want to go there before lunchtime when people start to be off work. So, but I need to do the recording. As you know, you that follow me, you know that that I need to recording if they have touched me in some way, talk to me or touch me in some way from the afterlife. And I had this night. They did. It was not a sound, but I wake up at 2:00. Not for go to the bathroom. I only wake up and was clear in my mind and couldn't go back to sleep. So I needed to go up and I sit on my computer. I brush my hair now when I'm talking. And if you hear a sound, it's my brush. Not my hair. It doesn't sound anything. As I am a white person, my hair is soft, very soft. It was. I wake up and then I go to the computer and sit and look if there was someone wanted to speak to me, or I have got an email or something, because I have a so-called friends that is on Facebook all over the world. So they are awake when I am sleeping. So I check it out. And there was nothing. And then after about less than 1 hour, I go back to bed. And just when I fall to sleep, I have started to sleep. Then suddenly it come a very loudly sound in the air, and I be surprised. I was not scared. I was surprised. So it was like I was jumping off the bed. And that is very strange because I take time to could come up. I need to wake up my body first before I start to walk on the floor. And now when I'm talking to you about it, it maybe was that they wanted to take me up in the air into heaven in that way, but I wake up because they did that, and they have to let me go. So I was clearly awake, and so when I come back, it was like a big crash in the air. I was not frightened, but I like I say, I was up, sitting in my bed, and was on my way to walk on the floor, but I lay back again and fall to sleep, and I sleep until early morning. But then when I watched the news on television, I was very sleepy. So I needed to go back to bed, and I was sleeping 1.5 hours. So it was much disturbing in the night. And then I was thinking that it was this loudly sounds before, and it was some that I recording what had happened in the night, and then I go back this morning to listen at the episode, and it was for 28 days ago. What was said to me in the night, and I didn't remember what was recording. So it was about a man that was in a war, in the Second World War or Korea War or First War, and his surname was Green. And I was thinking that the crash maybe was that he come into those layers that we are not existing in heaven in the same layers. It depends where we come into heaven, what time we come into heaven, and where we are in God's education. And most, I have told you, the most are in the meadow, and they don't act or react or do anything to us on earth. It's those that is on the higher layer that do things, that we want us to do things. And so it was like he was not passed by all the layers for 28 days ago, but he maybe had to stay in some layers before he could break the last layer to come into so close as he could to Earth. And that's what I heard in the night. It's going, it's a spirit coming now, a spirit inside me. And it was, maybe it was because they failed to take me to heaven to do something with me or keep me there, because they failed to take me up. And then the spirit came through instead to come here. And it seems like it's here because it's so much touching on me just now. So this is nothing I have thinking about. It's coming to me when I'm recording that they failed at just after that I go back to sleep. When I wake up in the night at 2 o'clock, they have wake me up, and then I go back to bed, and then they try to take me up to heaven or what they wanted to do, but it seems like I was in the air because I sit in my bed and I don't do that so quick, but I did it quick because of the crash of sound in the air. So he come to me instead to take me up to heaven. That's what I think about now when I talk it to you. So it was not really the main thing I wanted to talk to you about, because on Facebook, there are coming memories from other years, and I have been on Facebook since 2007, so there is many memories they keep there on Facebook. And this today I got, and I very rarely look at those memories, but something told me to check out the memories today. And there was from Israel. It was when I was the first time, and I was with a church group that was not nice to me. I was in somehow Christianity. That's what I started with in my walk, under God, that I should learn from heaven. And I started there, Christianity, and then people was talking to me about Jesus as God, and I adopted it already from the beginning. And I asked God that many times. I told God that if Jesus is God, tell me tell me it or show me it. And God have never done it. And I know today that it doesn't need to be God. It can be those from afterlife that talking to us and show us things. So it doesn't need to be God that talking. But I say that before I knew that they are still alive in the afterlife. And whatever I heard in the spirit and in the air, I was thinking it was God, but it could have been those in the afterlife that was talking to me. But I didn't know from the beginning. It's this year I really am 100% sure. Oh, I got much coming from my nose. And I'm sorry for blowing my nose, but you don't see me anyway. So it's not that I'm sick. It's only stuffed in my nose from my sleeping. And then I have taken a shower and sitting in the steam under the shower. I sit on a chair in the shower. So I sit there a while, enjoy it. And then it's coming loose from my nose. And so nothing happened. So I understood that Jesus is not God. And then now, after I come up to heaven 2018 with the help of this you know, the 2018, you that follow me, that I have been in hypnosis, and I come up to heaven. And then I met, the first time I was up to heaven, I go in like in a cave, and there was a man that was waiting for me in the cave, and it was 6 men look like the one that I have make a drawing of, white beard and white hair and white clothes, and they was waiting for me in the cave, and I went into what it was like a god, but it's not the real God because it was a spirit thing. And but in the throne room of God I was. And then I realized that the man that come to me the first day when I was on my way to make a suicide, that man was not Jesus. Because when I went up there in hypnosis, on the left side of me there were a garden, and there stood Jesus in the garden, like in his 30s, and he was not interested in me. He looked around on his flowers, and it's symbolic, you know. It was not real flowers. He looking down on earth what's doing, but he is not going down to earth to do something. And on the right side there was this man, and they look exactly like the higher priest that was in my home and was talking to me about my childhood the first time. So that was not Jesus. It was a higher priest that is in the throne room, because they follow me into the cave and into the God's throne room. And then when they come in to the throne room, they bow down, and they didn't show up their face. The face was on the ground. So I was by myself with God, and they were in the throne room, but they were not active more than hide their face on the ground. So that's what the truth is in heaven, when be on the highest level. And then God showed me that He appointed me to be His worker here on earth with this stuff, golden stuff He had in His hand. And but in that time in Israel, when I was in Jordan River, that I watched now this morning, and I was with the Christian people, and all of them wanted to be baptized in Jordan, but I told the pastor that I have already been baptized twice, and today I have been baptized 3 times. But I walk into Jordan River and standing in the water, and because I have so much psoriasis on my skin, it was flakes of skin going off me, and I was thinking that I am in Jordan River, and then it's fishes that eat up those flakes I had that was loose, and they come and eat on my legs. And I was standing in the water until it be too much pain, because they had eaten up all the flakes, and then they started to try to eat my skin. So I have to go up. And in that time, I was not Christian, but I was waiting for an answer from God if Jesus was God, and He never told me. And He had never told me, and now I know from my own experience that Jesus is not God, but Jesus is like everyone else that do the work for God. They are close to the throne room. They are in the city. Jesus is in the holy city. But as I saw it, He was not in the throne room of God, because He went into a cave and left Jesus in His garden. That's why I say that my garden that I have here, that was given from heaven for me to have a garden, and I call it Jesus Garden, because I have seen Him in the heavenly garden, even if it was not flowers, but here on earth it must be flowers. I have not dig down dead bodies in my garden. So it had to be growing veggies and flowers in it. And I got this home just when the COVID-19 came. So I was free to be outside in my own garden, in Jesus' garden, and not deal with people so much. I was free outside, and no one was coming into my garden. So it was very nice done from heaven. And then when I come in my new home, they told me that this home should be a gathering place. And I didn't know what they mean, because I didn't know about afterlife in that time. And I was thinking, I can't have a gathering place because I don't want any people to come in my home and make me get COVID-19. It was very extremely hard to the first wave we got. So it was killing many people that was healthy, and it killed. And so I don't wanted any people to come in my home. So I didn't understand what the gathering place should be. But then they told me that I should do a podcast. And this is the podcast they make me to do. And I didn't know what I should talk about in my podcast, because I don't have any friends. I don't have any real family. I have my daughter, but she don't care about me. And so I didn't know what to do. And my daughter, she told me now, the last time she was talking to me, she asked me if I wanted to go to a new movie that have coming that was about Jesus. And I said to her that I didn't. And she be angry at me because she believed in Jesus as God. So she didn't understand what I'm talking about. So she can't be the one that talking in this podcast. But as soon as I can, if this man that I have met now, if he will be here, I am going to ask him to join me in this podcast. So you know that. But so far is it very fragile. So I don't ask people to pray, because that can be evil people that pray, and then they pray for their God that is not the God. So I have to stand still and wait to see what. I have talked to heaven many times. I have talked to afterlife many times, that I don't have any control. I was yesterday out with my scooter, and I stopped at a place in the sun, and then I was talking to afterlife and talking to God about the situation. I say that I will not do anything on my own. I will do in your will. I will do the will of God, the will of afterlife that is on on the positive side of afterlife. I will do what you want me to do, but I am not going to do anything in my own will, because I have failed so many times to do my own will. And I can place me to somewhere that he come by and meet me. That I can do, but I don't go after him in that way. That I know where he is playing cricket on Sunday. It is in the other city, neighbor city. But I don't go with a taxi to that field or to meet him. He need to be in my area for me to could talk to him or meet him somewhere in the city of an accident. That is not accident, It's afterlife that placed them where they want you to meet this person. We don't have any control at all. We don't know when we should die. Of course, there is people that have, for example, cancer. They know they should die. But we all know we are going to die from earth. And we don't know. I didn't know when I walk out from the bus that a car should drive over me. I was okay. I would climb up in the bus and I would try to climb down, and then I fall out in the street and a car drive over me. I didn't know that it should happen. So it doesn't matter if you have cancer and the doctor has said we can't do anything for you. We all should die. And it's in God's time when he wants us to come to heaven. And I believe because of my mother-in-law that was working for the church her whole life. She promised God to work for the church her whole life, but she only baked cakes to those people that come to the church. She didn't do anything for people to come to God. She maybe did that they should come to the church to drink coffee, but she never bring her 2 sons to the church. My daughter's father, he don't believe in God, and his brother didn't believe in God. So she failed in that work she should do, and that's why she left just when I should give her first grandchild. She died. She saw the grandchild, but she died when my daughter was 7 months old. So I believe that as long as you do real work for God, and that have nothing with a group of people in the church to do. You need to go out from the church and talk to people on the street and not force them to believe. The best you can do is to act in what religion you are in, or if you are not in a religion like me, that you are friendly and loving and help people. that's what we should do. We should not sit and drinking coffee in the church. That is not work for God. So I don't know if I should say something more, but this is what I wanted to tell you first, at least. I do many episodes because heaven want me to do that. That is my work just now. But I also meet people outside and talk about God. And they ask me questions and I answer it. And if you have questions for me, you should write me it. You have got my email address. I have the same email address. I have paid for that. So it have nothing with my website to do. I still have the same email address, so you can write me. So I wish you a blessed weekend if you listen at this episode today when I'm recording it. Or I wish you a blessed day whenever you listen at this. So God bless you.